Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another live show. And it goes without saying, I've got the sound of the super chat. So anytime the super chat comes in, this thing goes off. It's the sound of the super chat. So don't forget to super chat. And welcome aboard, everyone. It is Thursday evening at 8:51 p.m. New York City time. That's 8:51 p.m. East Coast of the United States of America. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. Let me fire up our chat. We got Jake. First comment as usual. Here's a celebratory sound of the super chat for Jake because he's so on point with these shows. That goes out to Jake. And anytime a super chat comes through, that thing will erupt. And if we get through $100 in super chats, then what'll happen is really cool. I'll break out the tribal drum. Tallman Murphy says, digital archaeology, howdy. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. So, it goes without saying, what is digital archaeology? That sounds cool. That sounds super cool. Tell us about digital archaeology, rather. Jake says 8:52 here in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, it's let's see. I got something. Okay, that's not loading up yet. Bunch of stuff going on, and then Talman says partly cloudy in Riverside, Alabama. Or Alaska, AL. Yeah, man, I got a funny comment today. Speaking of Alabama, I got a comment that said, let's see, what did this say? This is pretty funny. Well, if I can get back to it, I've got it here. Let me scroll down. I always get interesting comments, and some of them I like to read. So this was a comment that someone left on a video that I had from a while back. It was my Zeiss Voxia 50mm manual focus for video how-to. And their comment was, the word is not own, in quotes, O-W-N. Stop making us Southerners look bad, you toothless hillbilly. That's what they said. And my response was, actually, I have teeth, but they are veneers. All my teeth are fake. All my top teeth are fake. They're veneers. So I'm not toothless. I said, I am barefoot, though. How should this categorize me? Thank you for the feedback. So, you get some interesting things. So that was an interesting comment. And then I got another comment from somebody else in regards to how to Skype with the A10 Mini Pro and Rodecaster Pro. They said, hey, problem solved. The cable was not plugged in well. Many thanks. Now I'm working 100%. So, every video serves a purpose. So I had a satisfied viewer because of my A10 Mini Pro and Rodecaster Pro videos, and then I had somebody talking about, saying that I make Southerners look bad. So it's pretty interesting what you'll get on YouTube. Talman says, capturing everything in video. No doubt, man, you got to. Every video serves a purpose. And it's one of those things, if you don't capture the videos, then let me add a link to your. What's funny in this live interface? I can't just click a viewer's name and go to their channel. I want to subscribe to your channel. Let's see, Talman. Let me add your YouTube channel. I'm going to subscribe to your YouTube channel. Let's see. Yeah, I've got some slight buffering. I've got and thanks for letting me know. I've got a green screen backdrop it's downloading right now. I shouldn't have been doing that download while I'm doing a live stream, but digital archaeology. Here we go. Drone technology. There you go. Good deal, man. I just subbed your channel. Subbed your channel here. Let's see. So, let's see. What do we have? And then it says, and Jake says, oh, I'm joined by my sisters McKenna and Maya and my girlfriend Katie, or Kate as I call her. And then we got Talman says, as my dad used to say, I represent that remark. And then Jake says, it seems we've got slight buffering. Yep, we do. Barefoot, are you precarious? LOL. GO1, hello. Welcome, welcome, GO1. Let me see. I've got, yeah, that green screen backdrop still downloading. Things ought to clear up here in a second. Canceled my gym membership, man. I want to get back, but all this pandemic, I don't want to be in an enclosed space with all these people, so I canceled it. But I got lucky. I was on the waiting list for, I don't know if you've seen them, and I haven't used them, but the reviews are pretty good. I've been on the waiting list for the Bowflex Selecttech 552s. Those are the dumbbells. They go up, I think, to 52.5 pounds per dumbbell, and you can just turn a knob to select the weight. So I was in a waiting list for that for, like, I think since, like, maybe April. And I finally got an email that said, you know, like, basically first come, first serve. And then I bought them, and then it said, oh, it's going to be probably 4 weeks before they ship. But at least I've got them ordered. So, you know, I've been doing the indoor exercise bike, which is working out great. I think I'm close to a little bit over 100 miles on that so far. I'm still fat, but it is a good workout. And I tell you, using that Schwinn IC4 with the Zwift app, it's super motivational rather, and that's important when you're trying to lose some weight. Let's see. Jake said, I have a few fake teeth, one having been knocked out by my ex-girlfriend and the others knocked out from hockey and 2 from being in a fight at high school. Very cool. Well, those are memorable tooth losses. Talman says, always love your backdrops. I appreciate it. This backdrop, I filmed this one at a place called Le Village. It looks like La Village. It's French. And this is on St. Bart's. And this was out by the pool. So basically what I did, I went to this place and I took the ferry over from St. Martin and went over there. And I you know, St. Bart's is, I mean, it's like the yacht place, you know, like all the people in the multi-million-dollar yachts, you know, kind of an expensive place. But, you know, I went around and I looked for deals and basically got this awesome place for super good deal, and even got a combo meal deal. I got the rental car bundled in with it. So I got this really cool. Now the room I had was nice. I mean, it was just their bottom tier room, but everybody, this little pool that's behind me, this infinity pool overlooking the ocean and St. Martin in the distance, that's the same pool that, you know, whether you're staying in the cheapest room or the most, you got the same pool. So, you know, advice, you know, again, some travel advice for everyone, regardless of where you're going. If you research and, you know, you find deals, I mean, you know, like I've always told people, you know, are you going to sit in a hotel room? You know, if you're going on a vacation, to sit in a hotel too. But, you know, I mean, it's one of those deals, you know, you can go pretty much anywhere if you do your homework and you find deals. So yeah, that's one of the things I like to do. Everywhere I go, I film a backdrop, and I'm about to switch. Again, that's St. Bart's. When this other one finishes here, I'm going to switch to Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos is a really cool place, by the way. It's you know, it's really flat, but Grace Bay Beach on Turks and Caicos is really awesome. Super soft sand, great swimming water. I mean, unfortunately, right now because of the pandemic, you know, I don't feel safe. Well, it's not. I don't feel safe because, you know, you're going somewhere. You know, you can be as responsible as you want to and isolate and, you know, proactively wear your mask, proactively wash your hands. But all it takes is one person that's either refuses to be considerate of others, or one person that just doesn't have common sense and they, you know, expose themselves. I see so many people, and this is one of the most dangerous things right here. This is a smartphone. In these times, the smartphone is one of the most dangerous things, because what you may not realize, and what I know many people don't realize, is that all it takes is touching this phone once. So for example, you know, I'm walking through a shared environment, and I touch a doorknob, okay? And then, after I touch the doorknob, my phone rings. So I grab my phone and answer the call, Then I put my phone in my pocket, and then what happens after that, I go and wash my hands thoroughly for 20 seconds or whatever it is, hot water, soap. But, what I don't do is clean my phone. So even though I've cleaned my hands, then with clean hands, I go wherever and my phone rings. So what do? I pick up my phone, I answer my phone, I touch my phone to my face, and now I've got that pandemic stuff on my face. So, there's small things like that you may not think about. And I don't suggest anyone has to be a germaphobe. What I do want to say is that, there's ways of, coming in contact with this that you may not necessarily realize. So, it's one of those things you shouldn't freak yourself out. And, that's not something I want anyone to do, is freak themselves out. But, it's one of those deals where if you, I've got a little bit of buffering here, I bet. This is almost, it's because that upload I had going. But Jake says, I was a fighter in high school and always won. Man, I didn't really fight that much. What did I do? Let's see, what did I do? Well, no, I didn't really fight. What I did was, if there was somebody I didn't like or somebody that irritated me or whatever, what I always did, I played mind games with them. So, I did get in some physical fights, don't get me wrong. But my biggest thing was just playing mind games and messing with people. Because there's one thing, if you get, if you get in somebody's head and you mess with them that way, they can't compete. Because if and I always thought it would have been interesting, from a career perspective, and, back before I discovered entrepreneurship or whatever, I always thought it would have been interesting from a career perspective to have pursued the, something in psychology. Because those psychologists, they help people, but, psychologists, if you learn psychology, you can pretty much be on top of any situation, whether it's sales, whether it's motivational speaking, whether it's providing, professional services for people that are mentally unstable or whatever. If you understand psychology, you can have an edge over most everyone in the world. So that's kind of cool. Like I said, next year I will be visiting my Cuban buddy. We will be doing vehicle spotting, seeing how many old and new makes and models we can find. Now, when you're saying vehicle spotting, are you going to do? You say he's a Cuban friend. Are you going to go to Cuba? Are you going to do the vehicle spotting in Cuba? Jungle D and the Hizzy. Welcome aboard, Jungle D. Welcome aboard. Jungle D Outdoors TV. Heck yeah, man. It is time to get outdoors. What better time to get outdoors than now when we've got this pandemic? Socially distance yourself. Get outside, get some fresh air, get some exercise. Drink some drink some whiskey if it's cold out. Whatever. Do it right. And this is a great time for outdoor activities. That's a really cool name, Jungle D Outdoors TV. I'm gonna have to subscribe to your channel, man. I'm gonna do that right now. Again, I wish that YouTube would make through this. I can't just click y'all's names in this YouTube live streaming interface. I've got to go copy your name and then go into this to subscribe. Jungle Doors, very cool. Let's see. About Jungle D, this is my channel for sharing all my outdoor adventures. Hiking, camping, bushcrafts, and survival. Prepping, travel, vlogs, just name it. Videos, photography for all outdoors adventures and activities. Uplifting and inspiring others. And this is Jungle D Outdoors TV. So He said he's in the hizzy. He's in the house. So there's his channel, man. Jake says, we are hoping to get a close look at a mosquito fogger truck. We've done it in the past. The Veradero workers are very nice. They let us ride along with them last year while they fogged in the evening. I guess the question there, do you really want to be that close to that mosquito spray? I don't know. I'm very sensitive to certain chemicals and certain odors. So I know if I did that, man, I'd be in a world of hurt. That's interesting, though. Mosquito fogging truck. Very cool. So what else do we have going on here? We got Brad. We got Brad. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome. Was drinking some H2O. I rode about 10 miles on the bicycle, so I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling good. Yeah, this is cool, man. Jake says, yes, cars, trucks, buses, heavy machines, even airplanes at Veradero Airport. Sounds like a lot of stuff. Are there any boats there? Well, probably not at the airport, I don't guess. Yeah, let's see. What do we have here? Whoa, okay, it downloaded. So now I'm going to switch. Told y'all I had a backdrop here. Here we go. So I just swapped out my backdrop. This backdrop, it's dark. And the sun will start to rise, but this is when the sun rises, you'll see it. This is Grace Bay in Turks and Caicos. And I got out there way before sunrise. Let me speed it up. Here we go. Now the sun's starting to come up. This was an hour and 15-minute video clip that I filmed from just camera on a tripod, man. I was down there flying. I think at the time I filmed this, I think I had a Phantom 4 or a Phantom 3 Pro, and I was out there filming it over Grace Bay. And I put the camera on the tripod and just, Brad says, anything new with drones for you? Well, admittedly, right now, no, just the Mavic Air 2, and I'm waiting to, it's just been so hot, man. I haven't really been outside to fly it as much as I want to, rather. And I don't know, do you have any interesting drone stuff to report? Anything exciting going on with drones, drone rumors? I know we've heard rumors that, and actually I think you may have said this on an earlier live show, that DJI may be putting out a racing drone. Oh, Brad, that's funny. Brad said, I bought a racing drone. Don't have it yet, though. And Jake says, if you ever wanted to, you could recommend my channel to, to rail fans. I do mostly. Yes, Jake, let me recommend your channel right now. I'm going to load up. So rail fans, if you're into railroads and stuff, let's see. Let me go. Jake, I think it is here. Is this, yeah, Canadian Pacific freight train at Parham, Ontario. Here we go. There we go. Let me link, let's see, Jacob, let me link your channel here, man. Okay, so that's Jake's channel. Rail fans, all kinds of videos on there. And Jake says, oh, we had to have respirators and hearing protectors while in the back of the Hyundai truck. And not only military boats, only military boats in Veradero. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, so you can see that sun starting to rise back there in Grace Bay, Turks and Caicos, Providencialis. Hey, it was a flat place, man. You could really see the sunrise. Yeah, so racing drone, man. So are you gonna do competitive drone racing, or are you just gonna fly it just to kind of learn how to race a drone and then see where it takes you, or do you have a? Oh, and did you find? Let's see. You were asking about laptops, weren't you, Brad? I think you were. No, I know you got the ZV-1 camera, but weren't you asking about laptops as well? Let's see. Man, I get so much junk email. It's ridiculous. It is crazy. Trep, good evening, man. Good evening, Trep. Always good to have you aboard. Everybody tuning in here, as a reminder, I've got the sound of the Super Chat. So if Super Chat comes through, this thing makes a sound. That's how it works. Talman says, beautiful background. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Turks and Caicos is super cool. And you'll see that sun start coming up over there, and you see all these rays of light. And then that over there, down there, that's Grace Bay. And that's one of the most popular swimming beaches in Providencialis. Now, you go across the island, there's a place called Long Bay, and there's a lot of people there that windsurf. So it's an interesting place. Now, the food there, out of a lot of the islands that I've been to, the food in Turks and Caicos is among the best of any of the islands. I mean, it's consistently excellent, and they're really big. One of their big things there is conch. Jake says, the worker said the truck was a Model 14 from Hyundai, and it was imported from Japan and was one of many from Asia. Cool. He's talking about the Mosquito truck. Let us see what we got here. Yeah, I put a little not fuzzy, but windscreen thing on this mic, supposed to make it sound even better. See, now you're starting to see the sun come up over there. See? It's hard to point. There we go. So like right there. There's the sun coming. You start to see that different color in the sky. That's how that works, man. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. It's magical. So let's see. Let us see what we got. Any news in the camera front? Looks like Sam Yang is putting out some cinema E-mount lenses, which E-mount are for Sony. Yep, that's kind of interesting. And then there's all these people talking about the Sony A7S III, which looks cool for video, don't get me wrong. But, you know, with that megapixel count, man, I couldn't imagine using it for much, you know, anything else than video. Yeah, that's, let's see what we have here. So this is funny, and I quote, this was from, he's, you know, one of the big YouTubers, Casey Neistat. I'm looking at a tweet that he put out, and I quote, he said, so Sony dropped the A7S III this morning. I had the pleasure of getting to preview the camera, working on a vid, and I can say it's the best DSLR I've ever used. Some thoughts. Actually, I don't think it's a DSLR. I think it's a mirrorless camera. I think that's kind of a weird comment. A mirrorless camera and DSLR, those terms aren't used interchangeably, are they? I don't know. I'm not trying to give Casey Neistat a hard time, but that just seems goofy. And then, let's see. Brad says, I bought a tiny sine whoop to try. It was $229. Yeah, I fixed mine. I might wait a while now. I would definitely wait for the Mac. especially with, Apple coming out with Apple making the transition to the ARM CPUs, transitioning off of Intel to a different CPU architecture. I think it would be a good time to wait, if you can, before upgrading your Mac. Jake says RP Rail and CN Rail, Byway Rail, and one TTC or Toronto Transit Commission. And then Brad says, I went to the, and Jake says, you get my happy emojis. There we go. Thanks. Brad says, I went to the Beaches Resort in Turks and Caicos back in 2010. Yes, I know exactly where that is. That's on Grace Bay. And just right down from, what was the name? The little restaurant and shopping area right there on, I think it was Regent or something. Dude, that's an epic spot. We were right where that little shopping area is, down there with the restaurants. We had a little rental house between the shopping area and the beach. It was about just about a 3-minute walk from our doorstep to the beach. And it was his husband and wife. She was a supermodel, and she met her husband, and they just said they're going to move to Turks and Caicos. So they moved to Turks and Caicos and bought this house, and then they built a pool in the middle and built like 3 guest houses. So we stayed in one of the guest houses, and there was this guy. He was from the Dominican Republic, and he came over every morning and climbed the coconut trees and chopped down a coconut. And she brought us, the supermodel brought us, the owner of the house, she brought us a homemade coconut pie one morning, and that was awesome. It was made with a fresh coconut. But yeah, that is a fun place, man. I tell you, I'm ready for this mess to clear up and get back out and about, get back out on the boat. But until then, it's just a matter of of YouTube and doing indoor exercise. Jake says Cuba has models from Asia, Russia, and other parts of Europe and North America, Canada, and recently the USA. Very cool. Cuba seems like a cool place. Talman says, aren't DSLRs dead? Yeah. And that's what I think. That's what I think is funny. I mean, again, I was quoting his quote, but if you go to his, if you go to Casey Neistat's, he posted this it looks like 11:34 a.m. on July the 28th, where he said it's the best DSLR he's ever used. So he's calling it a DSLR camera. I don't know. That's just, let's see. See if I can get a link, if I can share a link to this. I've never been a fan of Twitter, man. I don't know if y'all use Twitter. It's just, I mean, I don't know. It annoys me. It's pronounced via. Well, I'm off. Jake, thank you for tuning in as always, sir. And I'll see you next time. And this is to celebrate Jake signing off because he's such a loyal viewer. See, there's my drone flying. You can see it. Look, see? That's on Turks and Caicos. It was either Phantom 3 Pro or Phantom 4. I can't remember now. Telman says, I've used my iPad Pro 11-inch 2018 for just about everything, and LumaVision, great for editing most videos. It's more powerful than my last Dell. LumaVision, I'll have to check. Let me check that out. That sounds, I've always wondered about, video editing on a tablet. And that's, why does Apple not have Final Cut Pro for their iPad? LumaVision, cool. It's funny. It kind of looks like Final Cut Pro. Cool, man. That's a different video editing workflow, but you know, it seems really cool. Is that my drone or is that? No, that's not my drone. I was looking in the clouds. That's a cloud. That's not my drone flying back there. Luma Fusion. Yeah, I searched for Luma Vision and so I was actually looking at Luma Fusion, but you're right, it is Luma Fusion instead of Luma Vision. It's interesting. Yeah, it's crazy you say that too, because, you know, when we see the transition to ARM CPUs in the, in the Apple laptop and desktop range, it's going to be interesting to see how those perform in comparison to Intel. And I'll tell you one thing, this right here is the Intel, it's the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the Intel, let's see what I have, 2.3 gigahertz, 8-core i9 with 32 gigs of RAM. This thing gets hot. And I think that's going to be one of the advantages that ARM will bring to the table. I think that ARMs may not be as hot as Intel's. And, when you're dealing with a desktop or something a little bit larger like an iMac, it's not that big of a deal. But when you're dealing with something very thin, very lightweight, these things can get hot, especially if you're exporting videos on the go and you've got it on your lap. I mean, it'll warm you up. So, again, not a problem, but just, something to be aware of, man. It's these laptops can get hot. They can get super hot, man. So let's see, what else do we have here? I took a shower, man. I did that, again, I had that, what am I trying to say? I did that workout. And, I mean, you're talking about that exercise bike, man, is great. I'm so glad I got it because, I told you I canceled my gym membership. I just said, look, I said, I got, I just can't afford to be around people in an enclosed space and, and risk catching this. And it's just not worth it. So, yeah, I've spent a lot of that bike all said and done. That was about, close to $1,000. And then I've got the weights. I think they're between $300 and $400. So, it's an investment, but I think when you invest in your health, I don't think that, that an investment in one's health is a poor investment because, it doesn't matter what else you got going on. If you're not healthy, you're pretty much doomed. So I think it was worth the investment. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just embedding this video on my website. I like to have the live stream out on the on IrixGuy.com. I was just pasting that in because if I don't do it now, man, I forget, and then I forget. That's not good. Live show 111, IrixGuy's live show episode 111, IrixGuy live. Let's see. There we go. So I got that. I'm going to publish that. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that is up on my website. That is great. So let's see what else we have brewing here. So I'm going to put this on Pinterest. You always want to have, that's one thing. Pinterest is kind of a weird site. I actually like Pinterest. I'm not a fan of Twitter. I'm not a fan of Facebook. But the cool thing about Pinterest is that, you can share your YouTube videos there. A lot of people don't realize that, but you can. And that's nice because, a lot of people that, that are browsing Pinterest, a lot of them are on tablets and they're just looking for something entertaining to, to look at or to watch. And let's see. Yeah, so it's some interesting stuff. Back to the ATEM Mini Pro, the Rodecaster Pro. Again, I've had a ton of questions from viewers about, about the, what am I trying to say? All the technical ins and outs pertaining to that. And had some really good questions. So any questions that you have about Rodecaster Pro or ATEM Mini Pro, just ask, because I'm looking for video topics. And that's obviously what I'm using right now is the Rodecaster Pro. This is connected to the Rodecaster Pro. The ATEM Mini Pro is controlling the stream to YouTube and doing the green screening and everything. I mean, it is a super powerful device. And, I'm just now learning what all I can do with it. And it's, I found that, using two Apple TV 4Ks in conjunction with it, one for my continuously running green screen backdrop, and then the second Apple TV 4K for my intro clips, outro clips. If I want to share a video during the live show, I can do it. And then obviously I can plug my computer in. I want to do a show maybe this weekend. Maybe we can get up and do a show and get some live guests on through Skype. Skype, at least now, is currently free, so it's a great way to pull people in. Also this weekend, I will plan to plug in the studio phone, this yellow phone right here, and get some callers on the show as well. It's always cool to, to be able to interact with the audience and, and talk about whatever. I mean, we can talk about tech, we can talk about travel, tutorial, obviously drones, you name it. I mean, everything's free game. So let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, just not too much brewing right now with drones. I think we're seeing the calm before the storm. And honestly, given everything that's gone on this year, I still find it to be awesome that DJI released, the Mavic Air 2, because they didn't have to release a drone during the pandemic. But I apologize. I've had congestion, and hopefully it's getting a little bit better. But yeah. Brad says, you think you'll buy the DJI racing drone if it comes out this fall? Well, I think I will. And obviously the reason is that, in this channel, anything that's drone related, personally, I don't think I'll have an interest in drone racing, but there's nothing wrong with trying it out. And, just to be able to get it. And, Talman says, hate to run, but I've got to take care of a couple things. Have a good night. You too, man. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, I'll probably, if DJI does release a racing drone, if DJI releases any type of drone, unless it's an Inspire, I don't have no interest in the Inspire. But, if they release like a racing drone, I may pick one up just to play with and, and review and have, have some interesting video content. I think it's worth it for that. Do you think, given that you just picked up a racing drone, do you think that if DJI comes out with a racing drone, do you think that you'll pick that up as well, or do you think you'll be happy with the racing drone that you already ordered? Check out Beagle Drones, the company website. Oh, check that out. Let's see. These are racing drones. That looks cool, man. Let's see, it's a kit. $82 miles per hour. Wow. Well, I think you got me with that spec because, having something that's so fast. Now that begs a question. I guess if you hit something inadvertently with this, that it is pretty much toast. That's interesting. It says attach a camera, attach your GoPro Hero, your Insta360. for your session. Huh. 600 milliwatts of transmitting power means you can fly further while retaining a crisp video speed to your feed to your goggles, rather. Oh, looks cool, man. The videos are, that's kind of trippy, man. It's just like, and obviously FPV and, you know, cinematic filming completely different, but, you know, this being FPV, it looks cool because it's like, you know, you're, as it says, FPV, first-person view. It's like you're in the virtual cockpit of this thing. Bought the Neo 2. Let's see, I was looking at Drone Kit 2. Let me look at the Neo 2, man. The main. Oh, okay, cool. That's got, like, looks like prop guard type things on it. Let's see. Oh, man, it's got a camera on the top of it. Watching her a little bit. That's tiny. That's funny. I was, you know, looking at the picture. I'm like, man, this thing's gonna be huge, and it's not. Huh? He's flying around a fish tank. That's that is super small, man. That is super small. It looks I mean, it looks cool though. You got that tiny controller, and then you got the goggles. I will have to say, man, I've never seen this, but thanks for sharing that link, man. That is cool. He says you want to use the Neo 2 for practice. That makes sense. Figure out how to. Because, I mean, obviously completely different than flying a slow and cinematic drone. I mean, you know, this is racing and maneuvering. But I can see how, you know, if these things aren't too terribly expensive, if they're affordable enough to where you can have fun and don't feel like you've got to hold back. I think, you know, with that, being able to go out and you know, rapidly maneuver around trees and other objects that, you know, that aren't humans, I think that's a super cool thing, man. And Brad says he's going to practice with it, so by the time DJI releases theirs, I should feel more comfortable. That makes sense, because inevitably, I'm sure that DJI is probably going to charge a premium. Or is DJI going to be competitive with their racing drone prices to pretty much, you know, take over the market? And again, that is an area where DJI is going to start behind others, because there are a lot of drone racing, you know, racing drones out there today. So, you know, DJI has not yet released a racing drone. The only thing they've released that even signaled a racing drone were the DJI, you know, the black goggles, the racing edition or whatever. You know, when those came out, a lot of us assumed that DJI was about to release a racing drone. And to this day, DJI has still not released a racing drone. So, you know, they're going to be behind the competition, but, you know, given their branding, you know, given their brand recognition, their marketing, you know, I think when they do release that racing drone, I think it's going to be a success. But it's just, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how DJI comes from behind with with a drone. I mean, this will be their first time where they're not the leader. You know, they're the leader with drones for slow and cinematic video and just overall, you know, reliable drones. But when they come out with a racing drone, it's going to be I think it's going to be kind of funny to see DJI shiver a little bit, because they haven't had a situation yet where they're not number one, and they won't be number one with racing drones out the door. So, yeah, Brad said it's fairly cheap. I mean, unfortunately, drones, whether they're racing drones or other drones, I mean, this is an expensive hobby. But I can see where you're saying, I mean, around 100, you know, a little bit north of $100. Unfortunately, in drone terminology, a little bit north of $100 is cheap. But yeah, man, that's cool. That thing looks like it's in the palm of your in the palm of your hand. It's that small. That is, I don't know, man. You'll have to post some videos of that. We'll have to get up on a live show and share your videos. I fixed the audio and video sharing now, so we'll be able to do it, and it'll sound professional for everyone. So, yeah, that looks cool. I like that small size, man, that is cool. But again, everything can look cool in a photo or a video. Brad says, I'm prepared to buy the Mavic 3 as soon as it comes out, hopefully February, March at the latest. Hey, I'm with you, man. I think that, first quarter of 2021 would make sense. And again, DJI may choose to push it out a little bit further. I mean, their Mavic Air 2 is killing it. I mean, it's without a doubt the Mavic Air 2, and I'll say it confidently, is the best drone on the market today. And that's interesting because it's not their top tier drone. Their Mavic 2 series right now is the top tier. But because of the battery life, the autofocus performance, I feel that it's number one drone. Now, with that being said, the Mavic 2 Pro with the Hasselblad, the 1-inch sensor camera, it's funny, all these names and numbers, they get kind of garbled up in your head. But, Mavic 2 Pro with the Hasselblad 1-inch sensor camera, that's still the king for low light. You just can't. I mean, even though the Mavic Air 2, despite the smaller camera size, there goes my drone, see, out there over Grace Bay. Despite the smaller camera size, the Mavic Air 2's camera performs exceptionally well in low light conditions. I mean, I've captured some really good sunset videos with it, but, again, it cannot trump the Mavic the Mavic 2 Pro, because it doesn't have the 1-inch sensor. But I'm still saying I like Mavic Air 2 better because the autofocus on the Mavic Air 2 is rock solid. And, even though it doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, I'm from the school of, if I can get consistently reliable and well-focused video, that's more important to me than video that may be a little bit better in low light, may look a little bit better, but if it's not perfectly focused, it ruins it. I would rather have slightly lesser image quality, slightly lesser low light performance than to have something that may mess up. And again, I say that because the biggest disappointment I had with the Mavic 2 Pro was when I took off from an island. I'd put all my junk in a dry bag, swam to shore. The outer dry bag leaked. That's how bad it was. I swam to shore, but I had everything double bagged, which is good. Everything was fine. But I went to all that trouble to film this video from this tiny island. And you can check out my video. It's called, what was the name of it? It was Sandy Cay. It was out in the middle of the ocean. And I swam to shore, launched the drone, and those first few seconds of the flight were not focused. And that made me so mad because the whole effect, see, there goes my Phantom. The whole effect was, getting the takeoff and then seeing that tiny island and you're standing there, and it ruined it because the takeoff was out of focus. And I'm still mad at my Mavic 2 Pro because of that. Now, the Mavic Air 2, if that had been released at the time, wouldn't have had the problem, because I've never had a problem with the Mavic Air 2 where autofocus failed me. And again, that was with the latest Mavic 2 Pro firmware. And the original Mavic 2 Pro firmware was pitiful. I mean, autofocus on it could not be trusted. But with the more recent Mavic 2 Pro firmware versions, the autofocus has performed exceptionally well. But with that said, it's still, in my opinion, it's not as reliable as Mavic Air 2. Mavic Air 2, it just focuses. It just focuses exceptionally well. And I've got a flying tool with exceptional battery life, and I don't have to worry about it. I know that what I'm filming is going to be stable because of the gimbal. I know that what I'm filming is going to be well focused because the autofocus on that works exceptionally well. And I know I'm getting excellent battery life and excellent range. Obviously, fly line of sight to be safe and responsible. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this Mavic 3 is definitely a mystery. And I think what I learned from others, and what we've chatted about on this channel, I think that the modular camera, without the use of tools, I think that the modular camera is going to be one of the big things that the Mavic 3 is going to bring to the table. Also, we're going to get a better controller. This controller that Mavic Air 2 has is great. Not having to deal with that wonky stuff down below to attach your smartphone. And actually, I like the smart controller for the Mavic 2 Pro, but with the smart controller, it's kind of big. That device is permanently mated to the controller, so there's advantages to having a controller where you bring your own device, your own tablet, your own smartphone, because you can upgrade that tech. The reality is if you're a drone enthusiast and you're sinking a lot of money into this hobby, you're probably going to be upgrading to the next drone when it comes out before your tablet or your device is obsoleted. So from that perspective, the fact that the smart controller's device with the first generation smart controller is not upgradable or replaceable, I don't think that's that big of a deal, because most people, your hardcore drone enthusiasts, they're just going to get the next drone and whatever controller comes with it. So, I mean, this is an expensive hobby. It is very expensive. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah. I got something. These things, let me load this up. Here we go. Sorry, I was eating some ice. If you're fat or you're getting fat, these scales are great, because basically what I do, they're inexpensive. I get up every morning. First thing I do is weigh myself. I stand on these scales. I put the, I pull open the app. It connects to the scales. It downloads my weight. But what's awesome about these scales, it's not only your weight. They calculate other things such as BMI and other key metrics. So you can track your progress. And obviously, because I've been in quarantine, I've gotten fat. I can tell I look fat. And then, you can look at your scales and it confirms that you're fat. But you can look at, as you do your cardio, as you do your strength training, whatever you're able to do while in quarantine, you can track your progress. So, my goal right now, I'm gimped because I haven't done strength training since March. I haven't been in the gym since March because of this pandemic. But when I get my weight set, then I'll be able to start doing that again. And I've already gotten the cardio piece, the Schwinn IC4. So, that with the exercise equipment and motivation is a way to track your progress, because, it's easy. Here's the thing I learned. And I'll eat and drink whatever I want to. I don't care. But, if you don't exercise, you're going to get fat. So, I wish everyone the best of luck, during these crazy pandemic times. But yeah, those scales are great. They're inexpensive, and they've really helped me to monitor my progress. And again, my progress recently, until I got the exercise bike a week or so ago, had been very, well, it wasn't stagnant. It was going in the wrong direction. It was going downhill. But now I'm starting to see recovery and getting back to where I need to be from a fitness perspective. So, I need to be about 198 pounds. Right now I weigh 225, which is unacceptable. So anyway, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on in addition to drones. And these squirt bottles, man, I tell you, I love these. These are just, they're silicone, so it's not a hard plastic. It's a very soft, like a soft foam cover. I've got a pump one, and then I've got a squirt bottle. And I've got a bunch of these, and I've got one that's a different color. I've got green one. I think I've got an orange one, or I can't remember all the colors, but these things are great, man. Never can have too much sanitizer with you. And that's why I got multiples. Because, see, these, it's not a hard plastic that'll crack. So, and it doesn't, you know, when it's really hot, like, you know, and I don't recommend keeping anything in a hot car, but if you do have to leave something in a hot car, you forget it, this material, at least from what I've found, because it's silicone, it doesn't tend to expand and create an irregular shape. That's the problem. I had a hard plastic squirt bottle that was flat on the bottom. I accidentally left it in the car, and then the bottom started to blow out, so then you couldn't sit it down. It would just roll around. It was like half a ball on the bottom at that point. So I don't know, man. It's crazy to think about that, but just, you know, it is what it is, man. Got the sound of the super chat. Woohoo! So, with that being said, we've been at this show for about 58 minutes, man. 58 minutes. So it's been 58 minutes of fun, and I'm looking forward. I actually got some really, really cool content. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, some stuff I've been working on, but I'll be doing that. And we need to all get up for a live show, face on video. If you want to Skype in, if you want to call the studio, if you can call New York, you know, I've got the hotline, and you can dial into the show. We're not going to do guests on the show this evening, but hopefully tomorrow evening. Actually, that's my goal. I want to do a live show tomorrow evening, and get some guests on. So if you want to be a guest, shoot me a message. Best way to get me is facebook.com/IrixGuy. And you know, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. And again, being an independent YouTuber, you know, it's y'all's viewership, your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your Patreon, your super chats, shopping my website, all of that helps the channel. And, you know, during these weird times, it's, you know, it's important. I've got to grow the channel, but it's a situation where there's certain things that I'm unwilling to do. I mean, IrixGuy's Adventure Channel has been banned from travel. We can't get on an airplane. We can't get on a boat with other people. We can't get on a bus. We can't get on a ferry. So with those limitations, I do have some stuff that IrixGuy's Adventure Channel can get on, and that's what's going to be coming soon. So I'm thrilled about that. Probably within the next few months. So that's going to be exciting. But with that being said, it's let's see, what is this here? Sorry, that's that. And let's see, I got this right here. Boom. I'm going to fire up this right here. I tell you, I love these Apple TV 4Ks. They're such cool devices to work with. They really are. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and check this out here. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.